I'm just going to do this quick build video. I'm not going to build anything spectacular or anything great. The only reason I'm doing this build video is to show the things that are kind of annoying right now with the build mode. And I see a lot of people posting different things, but honestly, some of the stuff that are being posted out there, there are ways to work around it. And you need to know that there is other ways to do the things than what you're doing in order to you shouldn't be like saying, oh, it doesn't work because it does this and that. But no, that's not exactly true. Like, I did see somebody posting a video on how you can't select except for with manual selecting. That's not right. That's not true. Like right now, see, I can't. But if I was to go here and click on build and then click on my walls and then choose what walls I want, it will work. Okay, so now I'm using the D-pad to do this. Okay, so let's just pick any siding because I'm not really doing this build for any particular reason. It's just more or less, I'll just take this basic siding. So, and somebody else said that the L2 and L1 don't work. They do. They do work. So if they're not working for somebody, then either they're doing something wrong or there's something going on with their game. So, like right now, I'm using the D-pad for scrolling. As long as you click on that icon, now once I leave this area, if I was to like come back and try and do it, it wouldn't work the same, okay? So now I'm going out here. Now if I wanted to go and do doors, and I don't like, I'm still, I'm able to come in here and scroll around with either the toggle switch or the D-pad, whichever you prefer when you're playing. So it does work. People just don't realize that they have to go and click on the icon to make it work. And sometimes it's annoying because, you have to click on that icon, in between doing things. And it's not quite the way it used to be where you could just, use the icon. No, that's true. And that's not to say that I don't want these things changed or at least have the ability to go back to the old style, like what I like. It's not to say that I don't want that, but it is to say that it can be done, and saying that it can't be done is incorrect. And like choosing windows, you don't have to go with room, you can go by window, okay? This does work. It goes back and forth just fine. See, so now I can't scroll, but if I was to go here again and then click on windows, I mean, yeah, I know it's a bit of annoying, but it does work. So to say that it doesn't work would be inaccurate. It does work. The major issue I have with build mode right now is not this. It's more or less with the interior decorating, and I'll show that in a bit. I just want to find a window that I want to stick in here, right? I mean, we can just go with this one. I'm not that worried about it. So right now it's like this, but I don't want it like this. And so this is the same way as it always was. You have to go out to here to choose that. Okay? And now I can come in and just place them individually. Okay? And like I said, I'm not doing this to do it for any reason, so it's just gonna be a quick video. So now, say I want to do the interior walls. Again, I'm going to have to choose it here. And then pick my wallpaper. And now I can still, do this with the D-pad. So it's just a matter of choosing it in this menu after. And like if I was to choose floors now, I may or may not be able to do it with the D-pad. Yes, I can still. But if you can't, then all you have to do is go back there and click on the icon on the side and do it. And so, yeah, okay, the one thing that does not work is let's pull this out because I don't want that equal. So I mean, like you have this option, and like I said, it is more complicated. It is, that's true, but it still is doable. So say I want to place my kitchen counters. Okay, I'm not even going to really do this because the problem that I have comes in here. So, and it doesn't always happen either. I'm not keeping this house, so I don't really care. Here, let's see. Okay, so see now I'm not going to be able to scroll down unless I go and use this. But the other choice is to go back here and then choose it again, and now you can once again scroll down. I'm just saying it's just that extra step. I mean, it's kind of a pain, I guess, but it does work. And to say that it doesn't work is incorrect. It does work. It's just more complicated. I'm just going to see if I can get that issue that I feel needs to be fixed to work. Okay, so just say, just stick a couch in here. I don't really care which couch it is. I don't know if people know, but like when you're building a house, you actually don't have to have your sim in the house, a sim in the house when you're building it. You can build without a sim. The thing to build without a sim unlocks a lot of stuff for you, because without the sim in it, you can use all the unlockables. So anything that might be locked behind a career is unlocked if you're building without a sim in it. So say you want to use this big TV that you get through the Tech Guru career. If you build a house and you want to use this TV, it's there to use. Pictures that you normally wouldn't get because they're locked behind a wall, you can use them. So there's reasons to build without Sims in the house, and most of them are that you can use anything that you want in your house from your menu. Okay, so I've had issues where if I go up here and I clear off this, sometimes it messes up this. It didn't do it this time, but sometimes it does. The other times that this can get messed up is if I'm deleting an item out of here. Don't really care which door it is. This one's fine. I can break this open. I'm trying to get the one issue that I feel is a major issue to happen, and it's not happening right now. I don't have move objects on either right now. Okay, so now I do. I'm just gonna shrink that TV a little bit. I don't want that big. No, I don't know. It's behaving for me right now. But what does sometimes happen is you'll put an object in and then you want to change it and you can't because when you try to get rid of it or move it or whatever, it doesn't let you choose things. So if you want to be able to like scroll here with L1 and R1, you have to go back here and choose room. That's the only way it works. But then it does work again, so yeah. And then you can also continue to scroll this way too. So for whatever reason, it's really behaving for me right now. It's not doing the annoying thing, so I don't know if it's going to. Yeah, that won't really go with that. This would. Maybe. Okay, I think I'll put a room here. It's going to be the bathroom. And I mean, we can make this larger. No big deal, so that we can make the bedroom a little bit larger. Like, it's being hard for me because it's not really doing what I'm trying to get it to do, so. Yeah, it's not, So what ends up happening that I think is an issue is sometimes you'll place an object and then it'll act up and won't put that, it won't let you place an, well, it sort of bounces, which is hard to explain. What'll happen is you'll go to, like you'll go to move an object that you've placed or something and it won't let you grab it. Instead you'll have this bouncing thing that bounces from here to here to here to here, but it never lets you pick up the item in the house anymore. You can only place items, which is no good because if you want to move an item once you've placed it because you don't really like exactly where it is, it makes it difficult. So, because then you either have to grab the mouse and try to build it with the mouse, or you have to leave and go to manage worlds and come back in. And that's something that shouldn't be, like it shouldn't be that way. But I mean, everything else is just basically the same, except for having to go to the icon on the side by the search, underneath the search, and pick your category before you can use the scroll button. But other than that, like it still functions basically the same. So we always have to leave here. And I mean, before it was easier because you didn't have to do all that, right? You could just use your D-pad to do everything. And it was a lot simpler that way. And it's not like I think that it's better this way. I don't. But I'm saying it is usable and you can make it work. And to say that it doesn't work at all is incorrect. It does work. It does work. It's a bit annoying, but it still works. But so far I'm having no luck in getting this to do its little thing where it bounces, so I can't really even show that part unless it does it. And right now, it's not. It's not doing it. And I can't. No. So it's not doing the thing that I wanted it to do, and doesn't seem to be happening. So I don't know. It didn't do that part, and I can't make it do it. It has to do it, and it's not doing it. And I can keep on trying as I build, but it doesn't feel like it's happening. And like, I do agree, build mode is like much more complicated now, but it's workable. And for people to say it doesn't work, that's inaccurate. It does work. You can still build. I know it's a bit more of a pain, but it can still be done. Just door down a little bit, but that's okay. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. It's always a matter of remembering to go to the side menu and then pressing your thing. And that can tend to be a little bit of a pain, but you know, it does work and eventually you get used to doing it. But I agree that it's a bit of a pain having to do that every single time. And it's not like I don't understand how people feel. I do. I totally get you. But I am saying that when you put a video out there and say that something's broken, make sure that you're accurate in what you're saying. Because if something's not completely broken and you're saying it's completely broken, but you haven't learned to use it properly, then you're not really giving people the proper answer that you should be giving them. Like, it's important to know and make sure that you're completely accurate in what you're saying. Because, I mean, what might be not working for you in a certain way may actually still be working for other people, and vice versa. Like, I may be saying, well, this works just fine, but other people may be having issues with it. But if your issues can be solved by any of the things that I've just shown you, then you're not having an issue. It's just the way that they've changed the build mode, and you, for now, we don't have an option but to learn how to use it the way that they've changed it. That's the way it is. If they ever change it back, well, then that's great. But if they don't ever change it back, do you really not want to build just because you haven't figured out how to use it? No. So for me, it was important to figure it out. I like building too much to not want to figure out what's how I can build with what they've done. And yeah, that's why. Do I like this build thing better? No, I don't. I liked it the way we had it. It worked much better, and we never asked for it to be changed. I don't think a single sim player, unless they are like a PC player trying to play Sims on console, right? Then they might say, "Oh, I don't like the way this doesn't work properly. It doesn't." Why don't you fix it so that it works more like, you know, what we're used to? Well, but you're not a console player then, because console players like to use controllers for the most part. I mean, there are some that use keyboard and mouse, I'm sure, but most of us use controllers. And this new build mode is not conducive to that. It makes it much more complicated for console players who are using controllers. But on the other hand, if there are console players out there who are using keyboard and mouse in here to build, then this makes it simpler for them. So I guess you got to look at both sides. I mean, what we had before was good for all of us console players that use controllers, but not so great for console players that use, keyboard and mouse. So, I mean, maybe they're just trying to make it good for all console players, and they just did what they thought would work for everybody. And it does, it's just a little more complicated for us. The only issue that I have is the one that I don't like that hasn't happened so far. When I move an object and I get stuck where I can't I can't move it around or place it properly because it's stuck. So that that to me is an issue that needs to be addressed, because it does cause issues. It doesn't work properly. I don't know why I didn't put that over there. I'm just going to take out one of these counters, put the fridge in here. But, yeah. I'm not saying this to upset anybody or anything. I just want people to have a more accurate console version build mode thing, so that people can decide for themselves, or know how to use it properly, and not have the issue of saying, oh, it doesn't work. Well, yeah, it does. It's just more complicated. So, I totally agree. I want my old system back, but this system does work. It's just, like I said, more complicated. So, in all that time, I can't get it to do the one thing that I've been trying to get it to do. So, I can't even show that. But I do have it happen quite often when I'm building, where it does go into that bounce thing, and I think that is an issue that they do have to address, because it does make for a really bad experience when you're building if you have to keep leaving the build mode just to get your build to be able to build, that's not something that should be happening, and it does happen. So let's see what color we actually want this couch. I think that's okay. So for me, for the most part, building works the same as it always did, aside from the fact that I have to go here and choose my stuff. And the only thing that doesn't work properly is the one issue that I have, where it makes it so that I have to either leave build mode or use a mouse just to fix the issue that I'm having. An issue like that, I would say, needs to be fixed. But all the other stuff doesn't have to be fixed, but it would be nice to have our old build mode back instead of having to use something that none of us really wanted. So see, sometimes when you place an item from there, what will happen is that you will no longer be able to pick it up. And that is the issue I've been trying to get to pop here, but it hasn't been happening. So, and I've done it for a while here, so it's kind of calling me a liar, but no, I'm not lying. It does happen. It's just that it hasn't happened yet. So. Anyway, that's just a quick build thing to say. These are the things that I think are an issue, and these are the things that are not. And saying that, it doesn't work at all is incorrect. It does. The game works, okay? It may be a little more complicated, but it still works. This is deck, okay? Because I want a deck here, not a platform. Bring it up one more. Okay, well, I was unable to get it to do the one thing that I wanted it to do, so at least hopefully this will show you that there are ways to build in build mode without it having to be completely thrown away and it's just called that it doesn't work. It does work. Just you need to just learn how to use everything. And once you do, it's fine. Like, sure, I would love to have the old build mode back, but I'm not going to wait around for it to come back because I know what this game is like and we probably will never get it back. So just please, hopefully you learn something from this and are able to put it into practice in your builds and have a little more fun building again. Thanks for joining me and have a great day. May as well leave this here now that I've done that. It's perfectly usable, so somebody can use it. It can just sit here.